cards. Today's video is I'm going to show you, I'd seen on the internet a few cards that they classed as exploding cards, and I wanted to challenge myself and see if I could work it out how to make it. So I've had a go and this is what I've come up with. Hopefully you'll like it. So I'm going to show you how to make this card here, which is a standard 5 by 3 3/4 by 4 inches. But when you open it up, it's slightly different to normal in that it explodes and you have all sorts of stuff inside. So let me talk you through how we made it. I'm going to use two pieces of card, and we need to have, I'm going to do some colouring in as well, but basically you can use whatever design series paper you want, whatever colours. In this one I'm using the Sweet Talk papers. I've got a little strip here that's still left from another project I've been doing, so that's all I need there. And then the base card, and so our inside, so I've got Blushing Bride. So Pool Party and Blushing Bride are the two colours I've picked up here. Let's pop them over there. As always, I'm going to pop the measurements on the screen there, so hopefully you can see those. But again, all the information that you need will be in the description underneath the YouTube section. I've also got a couple of pieces of white card, so I'm going to use some white scrap paper, but I've already pre-cut the front one there, which is 5.5 by 3 3/4 across. So I'll put that to one side for when we can stamp the image later. So let's go through step by step. So taking my Pool Party, I need 4 inches by 8 inches. So I'm going to cut 4 inches along this way. And we're going to keep this bit because this is what we're going to use next in here to fold and make the exploding bit that's inside. So once we've got this one, let's make sure it's 4 inches by 8 inches. There we are. Then I'm going to score it with my scorer. Don't forget, if you don't have one of these lovely cutting boards from Stampin Up trimmers, then you could use a normal scoreboard at this particular point. I'm going to use the scoring blade there. I'm going to turn it round, and I'm going to, it says here notch, so I'm going to notch or just mark up on the edge using the creasing blade, so you can see there. I'm not sure, I'll bring it up to the camera, see if you can see it a little bit better. So I've just given it 2 notches at 2 inches, one there, one there. I'm going to turn it around and do exactly the same on the other side. So we have 2 inches on either side. Then using the trimmer, what we need to do is, or even your scoreboard, is line up the 2 notches on each side, and we're going to score across those as well. So we're creating a crisscross pattern in the middle. That's our crisscross pattern. Hopefully your line should cross right in the middle, all the lines should cross in the center. And then we're going to fold on each of the score lines. And don't forget as well, because obviously this is going to be a moving card, it's really important that you really burnish the folds to make sure that they're solid, and it'll help the card move much easier when it comes to when we build it all together. So then, to make this work, I'm going to gently, see it's all doing it automatically anyway, fold it in. So the one going across the middle is a valley fold, and the 2 going across are what we call mountain folds. So if your measurements are perfect, then the bottoms should automatically meet up beautifully there. So that's the first bit for the inside of the card. So I'm going to pop that to one side. So we've done this bit up here. The next bit we want to do is, using the leftover piece of card that we had, we're going to score at Sorry, let me just check. No, we want this leftover piece of card we've got here for the base of the card, because this is the outside layer. So the base of the card, we need it to be 11.5 inches by 4 inches. So let's just cut it at 4 inches. And 11.5 inches. And then we're going to score at 5 3/4. This is our outside of our card. There we go. Okay. Pop that over there. Then when you get your petal pink, no, Blushing Bride, this one is, sorry, Blushing Bride pink card, and we're looking now at doing the inside bit. So we need it to be 4 inches. So we're going to cut down the long way. By 10 inches. And we're going to score at every 2.5 inches. So 2.5 inches, 2.5 inches, 5 inches, 7.5 inches, and that should give us 4 equal bits. And this one we now need to fold again, because it's a moving card, to make a W shape. So valley fold, a mountain fold in the middle, and 2 valley folds. And again, because it is a moving card, and this is going to be moving every time somebody opens the card, you need to really make sure that you've burnished each of the folds quite well. So that there is our inside of our card. So we've now created this bit to go in the middle. Okay. So we'll put that to one side as well. We'll carry on cutting all the pieces out that we need, so we've got it all in one go. The next thing we need to do, so we've done that bit, we've done that bit, we've done that, we've done that. So we're looking here, it gets a bit small, but obviously go back to the underneath in the description. We want 4 pieces of white card I've used here for the inside bits of the exploding part. Now I've used the stitched rectangle, one of the stitched rectangle dies, which fits beautifully in the size of the card that I've picked here. If you don't have one of those, that's not a problem. You'll need 4 pieces of white card that are 3 1/4 by 2 1/4. So 3 1/4 by 2 1/4. I'm going to run some of these through now in my little mini embossing, cut and emboss machine. Let's get some white card. To run through. Just make sure that it's big enough. Perfect. Run a couple of those off so it'll run 2 through, and I want 4. Okay, so I'll get my mini cut and emboss machine. And that, there, and there. I should be able to get 2 pieces out of 1 piece of card. Oh. There we go. Oh, wrong way around. Slightly cat-counted if I do it that way. Oh, no, what am I doing? I'm just going to make the top one slightly longer than the one underneath to help feed it through better. One. Do the same again. And slightly over the top again. last two. Oh, moving the whole of the table. Oh, there we go. And last one. So if you see my desk wobbling, I'm actually using a little old writing desk to video this on at the moment, so it's a little bit wobbly. My kitchen table. Okay, so there's those four. Straighten up a bit because I think I've moved quite a lot as I've been doing that. There we go. Hopefully you can see what's happening a bit better. Then, just to give it, if you have something that's a little bit more definition, so inside the card, I made it just so that it lifted up and had these holes in here, and I've used this little die here that's from the new Tulip die set in this mini catalogue, and I've quite literally just popped it through on top of one of the die cuts we've already used. I did it on 2 to make it even, so poke all the holes out. Let's do the same on the second one. Okay. And that's that one. That's this all finished. Let's put this one away. Clear down a little bit. Make sure you can see what I've got. So there's the 4 that we have there for the inside of the card. Now I'm going to keep one plain, but I am going to put a stamped image on one of them with some happy birthdays, and I'm going to use my trusted nuts and bolts stamp set here, but I'm also mixing it with some, I'm making it more of a, instead of being a Valentine's card with the hearts and things, I'm going to make it into a birthday card. So let's just stamp my image. There we go. And I'm also picking out some of the other colours to match. Let's use this one. So I want to do a couple of random happy birthdays. I think I had one there, one up there. Whilst I've got the ink pads out, let's move those up there. I'll bring this one across and we'll do the Make-A-Wish. From the Happiest of Birthdays stamp set. And I'm going to stamp it slightly higher and not symmetrical or centered, because I am wanting to put some ribbon at the bottom. So let's make sure that's centered at the top. There we go. And let's put a couple of happy birthdays to you, which are in the nuts and bolts. There we are. Now what I've done in the front of this one is, I'm not sure if you can see, I've taken one of the fine pens in Pool Party It wasn't Pool Party, it was the matching one, sorry. It was the Bermuda Bay. And I've just taken the fine end, and I've gone along and made it look like fake stitching, or faux stitched, I suppose. There's no right or wrong way of doing this. If you saw my stitching on a sewing machine, this is probably what it would look like. Anyway. Almost done. There we go. So it just adds and finishes it off so it doesn't look like quite such a blank piece of paper, especially when you've got the inside on these ones. For example, I've used the stitch die, so it helps pick that up. And obviously if you were using this and doing plain, you didn't have the stitch dies and you cut out the shapes, you could then do exactly the same with the pen as well. So that's the outside piece. Now we're going to colour in my little robot. So again, I'm using the Stampin' Up blend pens, the alcohol markers, just to give him a little bit of love. In a previous video I did him grey, so like a metal robot, but I thought actually he doesn't have to be, he can be the same colour, pick out the colours to match the paper that we're working with. So the Sweet Talk, or obviously this nice Pool Party colour. Take the darker colour, try and give him more of a 3D effect. There we go. Oh, don't forget his neck. And then it's colour in the heart. So I've gone for the light. I don't actually have the Blushing Bride and pen, so I'm using here Flirty Flamingo, but I think it works just as well. I'll give him a little bit rosy cheeks. And just lift some of the colour up over here where the rosy cheeks were to blend it in a bit. So we have our lovely little robot to go inside as well. Let's pop that all over there. So we now have, let's bring our base pieces of cards back. Oh, I haven't, let's go back. Sorry, I haven't done the DSP, so I'm going to get my designer series paper and I'm going to cut the 2 pieces for the inside. Now, the thing is with this, if your pattern has a direction, then make sure that you cut it so that it will fit in the right way. So you don't want it to be wonky in the card. For example, let's see if I've got some, the one I used here in this card, if we'd have cut the paper like that, it would have looked a bit silly. So just to make sure that your direction of your pattern is going the right way in the card. And by that, I mean the longest side here is 3 3/4, and this short side is 3.5 inches, because it's slightly off. It's not a square piece to fit inside. So I want to make sure that that is 3 3/4 across and 3.5 down. So 3 3/4. And then 3.5 and 3.5. Those are 2 pieces of designer series paper. I could use the other side if I wanted, actually. So let's start putting it all together now. So the first thing we need to do is take our inside, our base card. I think I need a new blade. Looking a bit rough. If you've got a little bit of sandpaper, another little trick. Little sanding blocks, it's taken off any of the rough edges. is to make the mechanism inside. And what we have to do is we have to line this up so that the point is at the center of the card and the sides are all lined up. Okay, so that's all lined up there. So when it actually shuts the card, you won't notice the mechanism inside. Now this bit here can be quite bulky. So what you can do is you can cut it off. So I've kept it still on the thing and lifted up and cut it off underneath, so it's not quite so in the way. Then what you need to do is making sure that stays there in place. You need to put some glue on this bit here and then close on top and hold it and press until the glue's gone off. And then whilst that's doing that, you turn it over and sort of holding it still in place, turn it up, lift it up, and do exactly the same on the other side with the glue and pop it down. Okay, so now when we open the card, that's how we get the mechanism inside. Okay. We then try and make it symmetrical on the inside. So lining up your two pieces of card and your base card and your exploding bit, so as best you can make it centered. Then if you lift up this bit gently without moving anything else, and we need to put some glue just on that piece there, fold it down and press it down. We're going to do exactly the same on the other side, but it's the bottom one now we're doing, not the top. Okay, so I'm just going to check and make sure it works. She says might take a few goes of opening and shutting, but it should then pop open. If you find at all that it's sticking slightly, what you can do is you can just nick these corners here. I'm going to just slightly, so just taking a little bit off each corner. You might not need to, but you might find you do need to. So then when you open and close them, it doesn't catch quite so much. Okay. Let's finish putting this together. Make sure we get all our little bits out. I've left one blank so you can write a message on it. But again, equally, it's up to you how you want what the inside to look like. You could have flowers. Just pop these down in here. Line them all up. There we go. Do the same for our designer series paper. I mean, you don't have to do that. You could, if you wanted to, have this as white card and write your greetings in this bit. There we are. And then let's fold it back up again. Let's decorate the front. I have a little bit of ribbon that I'm just going to, I might just turn it into a bow actually this time instead of going all the way around, because I don't have much left of this little bit of ribbon. I need to order some more. But again, it's made with Blushing Bride and I like the shiny bit in it. There's a little bit of glittery gold. Cut it to size. Do I like that? No, I don't. Let's go all the way. Let's just put that across like that. Get some double-sided tape. Pop that on there. Around. There we are. Let's put some glue on the back of this one. And then put that in the centre of there. So you have what looks like a quite unseemingly plain birthday card, but obviously when they open it up, a bit of a shock surprise inside. The other thing I did do on the other card that I showed you before here, for example, I've put a little heart on for an embellishment. I've also used some of these diamantes from the Evergreen Garden on the eyes, just to give it a nice little bit of bling at the very front. So there you are, there's one exploding card. I do hope you like it. Any comments or any questions, then just email me. Follow the link below to my online store, and happy crafting. Many thanks, bye-bye.